Catus, Maximus here. This time another O'Reilly's O'Reilly Auto Parts product. The Power Torque long arm. In reality, it's more like a mid-length Torx or star hex key set. It's not a hex, it's a Torx or star key set. The reason I say mid-length is when you get long handle hex keys, they tend to be really long. They really give you a lot of reach. But for some reason, when it comes to Torx or the star keys, they tend to be short. And that's why there's two reasons I got these. They're actually not security compatible or tamper-proof compatible. But I like that because it gives you just a little bit more material. And Torx bits can be pretty stuck. So I like the idea of having ones that are not security compatible just for some of those tighter and tougher ones. So I'm not twisting off the ends of my security compatible versions. And my other set, which I have, it's a very old, like, performance tool or something. Unfortunately, they are, like, really short. And it's always kind of puzzled me. So I'm still going to call these a mid-length. These seem a little bit strange. These aren't their normal vendor. They do advertise a lifetime warranty, but what they're talking about here is test right products. So for parts and service, call. So it kind of is a little bit different, although I'm sure if you have a receipt, you take them down to O'Reilly's. Most of the good sizes comes with a T27, but not a T47, which I believe some GM vehicles use. Would have been nice to see that. Cover them quite a bit of oil, but as we can see, there's still a bit of rust right there. Up to the end of the world. And one thing that is strangely missing anywhere on this packaging is what great to see it. They're not advertising chrome vanadium or anything like that. We'll take a relative look at their fit, because it is more relative on Torx. As far as the T25, definitely is pretty tight. These deck screws actually tend to be broached pretty good because people are driving them pretty fast. Definitely, it has driving ability on both ends. I do like that they stamp all of these like, oh, I'm blind. They are advertising chrome vanadium. CRV right there, T25. I wonder if they do that on the smallest one. At least they go in and out of the holder. Little loop. They actually advertise this loop. Holder hangs on the workshop pegs. I think it's hilarious. I just didn't know what else to say about these, so they put that on. And yes, even on the very tiniest T10, they did stamp it. And at least they're smart. At least they have some brains, because the stamp is right along the backside of the beam. So it's, when you grab it and you hold the wrench, it's going to be right where you're looking. So I do appreciate that. At least that's a bit more intelligent. As far as their overall straightness, we can just tell that in the packaging. You can see in the packaging some of these wrenches, not particularly this Power Torque, but I've certainly seen in stores where some of these wrenches were just wobbly all over the place. So it's at least decent to see that these are relatively straight. And it's a little surprising that they're so corroded, even though they're quite oily. We can see a little rust developing down there too. I don't know how well the camera picks up. You can see on this wrench that the carbon or the black phosphate finish, bit inconsistent with these, but generally they seem okay. If we look across the top here, we can also see that the L's, or they're bent over at 90 degrees, seem to be consistent enough. O'Reilly's wants something like 13 bucks on the shelf for this, for a 9-piece set. I suppose that's okay, because it's kind of hard to find these hex key sets once again. Surprisingly enough, even at O'Reilly's, they had like a Titan set, which was a really, really long handle, but they were security compatible, which sometimes you need. But many times those are the ones that will strip out. So it's kind of nice to see that at least they have some solid tip ones. Not a lot else to say about those wrenches. I guess the only other thing is we could take a real close look at the machining here, and it seems to be relatively decent. One of the things that you can notice on really cheap ones is there'll be real sharp edges at each of the lobes, and that indicates a little bit lower quality machining. So at least the machining is okay. So just wanted to share that with you. If you're looking for some of these keys and want to go somewhere else besides Harbor Freight, at least O'Reilly's has them. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Catus, Maximus out.